Okay, let's plot these points on the coordinate plane, and I'm just going to go by ones on the coordinate plane just because these numbers are so small. So let's go ahead and plot them. -4, -4, -2, -1, 0, 0, 2, -1, and 4, -4. Let's connect these points with a smooth curve and make it look like a U. And look at how wide this U is. It's a very wide parabola. And we're gonna put arrows on both ends. Okay, let's just double check this graph in our graphing calculator, make sure that we got it right. So in your graphing calculator, we're gonna just hit graph. And there it is. It looks exactly like how I just graphed it on my paper. Okay, our last step is now we're going to compare the graph with the graph of the parent function. So again, we're gonna look at the a value. So again, remember the a value is the number in front of our x squared. So our a value in this problem is -1/4. Now this a value actually tells us two things about the transformation. The first thing is this negative. The negative is really what's causing this graph to be pointing down. The parent function parabola usually points up, but this parabola is pointing down, so that's because of that negative there. And when it flips over this x-axis from being pointing up to pointing down, it's called a reflection. So since the a is negative, since the a is a negative number, that means that our graph is a reflection over the x-axis. Okay, the next thing we're going to talk about is the actual value. We're going to ignore the negative because we already talked about that. We really just want to talk about the 1/4. So since 1/4 is a number that's less than 1, then these numbers are getting smaller than what they normally would be if it was the parent function. So it's a shrink this time. So since the a, and we're going to talk about it as 1/4, is less than 1. That means that this is going to be a vertical shrink by a factor of 1/4. So whatever the number is we're using here, again, we're using the positive value because the negative only has to do with the reflection. So it's almost like the absolute value of it, and that's the number we're using here. And even look at your graph. This is definitely being shrunk. It's almost like I took the parabola and I'm kind of squishing it in this way. Because I'm squishing it, it's shrinking because of this squish. Okay, I hope this was helpful for you. You can use this to help you do the Big Ideas assignment classwork.